facing, and he knew shit could get bad for him. Of course, he prayed for the best, with, hope for the best, and he even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that type of shit, but he got past all that.
Like trips to prison, trips to jail, getting arrested does not look good for you. And the fact that you've had similar charges in the past and, other videos and other arrests and mugshots, it just don't look good. It looks like almost like a repeat offender.
Domestic violence, his hands are registered. His hands are considered deadly weapons. Right. So he is going to be considered like assault with a deadly weapon as well, other than domestic.
Is it over for Gervonta Davis? With his recent legal troubles piling up again, fans are questioning if this is truly the end. Davis had once admitted needing therapy and seemed aware of his behavior, but now, without facing Devin Haney or fulfilling other major fights, he's on the verge of walking away from boxing. His repeated run-ins with the law might cost him his legacy and perhaps his entire career.
So Tank is on probation for that. So this will be a violation of his probation, but he's a celebrity. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to get a slap on the wrist. He has money and stuff like that. Now, the question I have is this: what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach rematch? Will that fight still go on? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I don't expect Tank Davis fans to, they're going to brush it off like it ain't nothing, because that's what they do. They literally, a lot of them worship this guy. So, and I get it, I understand. However, will that fight still go on? That's probably why we haven't heard anything. I was listening to Blue Blood Sports TV, but then when I was listening to his video, guess what? I'm going to show y'all something. Now, some of y'all may say, oh, this is nothing. There's a podcaster that I watch all the time by the name of Ticket TV. I watch a lot of the big podcasters, right? Podcasts, right? I want y'all to see something. Y'all see this right here. Let me show y'all this. As you can see right here, Ticket TV is talking about this. And the title is this: Breaking News, Boxing Superstar Gervonta Tank Davis arrested for beating up women, beating up woman.
In the realm of professional sports, public figures are expected to uphold a high standard of conduct both in and out of the ring. For Gervonta Davis, recent developments have brought renewed attention to his personal challenges, particularly concerning incidents involving the mother of his child. As a high-profile athlete, every personal action carries weight, and any confrontation, even one not physical in nature, can quickly escalate into a significant issue. When an athlete is seen to potentially misuse their influence or physical stature in situations beyond sport, the public response often grows intense. This case, due to its recurrence and the nature of the people involved, has drawn widespread attention and concern.
Bodily harm to her. Davis was arrested about an hour after the alleged incident and booked on a domestic violence battery charge. Jail records show he's still in police custody. Davis is scheduled to fight Hector Luis Garcia in a much anticipated boxing match on January 7th in Washington, D.C.
Well, that's not happening.
I mean,
it's not going to happen, bro. He's not going to fight.
That fight probably canceled.
The fight's going to cancel, and his sponsors. If he's fought, I mean, you can't find him guilty right now, but I'm assuming he's going to get a great lawyer. He has money.
Do we know who the woman is? Because I saw some headlines that said baby mama. And I know what we just read didn't it wasn't specific.
That's what I thought it said too. But yeah,
like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
When the reports came out.
And that's not even just a domestic violence. His hands are registered. His hands are considered deadly weapons.
Right.
So he is going to be considered like assault with a deadly weapon as well, other than domestic violence.
That's facts.
And that never goes good for a boxer, ever.
For it to be domestic violence, though, one thing that Flacco taught me in Suspect was that if it says domestic violence, then that's somebody that you were in a relationship with.
You didn't know that?
Over the years, Gervonta Davis has faced several incidents that have tested both his reputation and his ability to continue performing at the highest level. In the past, financial stability and legal assistance have helped him navigate these obstacles without major disruption to his career. However, this current situation appears more serious due to the frequency and pattern of similar challenges. The system tends to consider previous occurrences when weighing new ones, which might mean a more measured and stricter response from authorities this time. Even those who have supported him are starting to worry that the road ahead will not be as forgiving.
This couldn't come at a worse time for Tank. Of course, he's chasing that rematch with Lamont Roach, and that big money Netflix fight with Paul. And this case could potentially cancel both of these fights. For the Roach rematch, it's just kind of being assumed that this fight is happening in mid-August. Everyone has seemed to acknowledge that it's happening, yet there's been no official announcement. Why has there been no official announcement? Well, maybe they were/are waiting to see what happens with the case. They have known that this was gonna probably come out for the last month, so maybe they were either bracing for impact or hoping it could be all sorted out. But we're now about a month out from the proposed rematch, and time is running out. Every day that goes by, it looks less and less likely, and the news today certainly won't instill any hope. Even if the rematch does happen, the conditions are about as bad as they can get for Tank. In what might be the highest pressure fight of his career, he won't have a complete camp and would have legal proceedings hanging over his head. Combine this with the fact that he seemed a bit rattled and emotional after the draw, it's either a combination for a great performance or a combination for an absolute train crash.
Moments like these often act as mirrors for reflection, and many believe this could be a defining phase in Davis's life. While adversity can foster growth and wisdom, there remains concern that previous lessons were not fully embraced. Observers have pointed out that despite past experiences, there has been little visible transformation in his approach or actions. The recurrence of similar events only strengthens that view. Without a deliberate shift in personal mindset, the current events could not only impact his future in boxing, but also his ability to manage relationships and responsibilities outside the ring.
Facing, and he knew shit could get bad for him. Of course, he prayed for the best, hope for the best, and he even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that type of shit, but he got past all that. But that shows his maturity level too, because he kept his head together through all that shit. You know what I mean? So here we at the finishing line with the trouble. I just want him to finish smart, and you know what I mean, and do what he got to do. Get what he got to get. You know what I mean?
Given that the nature of the charges involves repeated past instances, the legal outlook is becoming increasingly delicate. When a person is faced with similar allegations more than once, it presents a stronger case for the court to consider more assertive measures. Legal professionals and commentators alike suggest that the judge in this case may opt for stricter consequences if the evidence aligns. The presence of prior incidents could potentially remove any leniency that might have been extended earlier. In sports, the legal process carries deep implications, not just for public image, but also for sponsorships and future athletic opportunities.
Boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been arrested and charged with battery in South Florida. Police allege the Baltimore native assaulted his ex-girlfriend during an argument on Father's Day in Doral, Florida. Davis was arrested and booked by Miami Beach police, and a judge set his bond at $10,000. This is the latest in a long line of run-ins with law enforcement for the World Boxing Association lightweight champ. In 2023, Davis pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offenses in connection with a hit and run that injured 4 people in Baltimore. He spent more than 6 weeks in jail after a judge found out he was serving out his home detention at the Four Seasons Hotel Baltimore and a penthouse condo in Locust Point. Davis has also previously faced allegations of domestic violence, though none of those cases against him have resulted in convictions. We have more on this story on thebaltimorebanner.com.
Some close to the boxing community believe that the intense expectations and pressure that come with professional competition have begun to affect Davis on a deeper level. The rigorous training, constant public scrutiny, and demand for mental sharpness leave little room for emotional balance. For a young athlete balancing fame and personal stress, it's possible that the overwhelming spotlight has started to cloud his judgment. Supporters hope that time away from the ring or proper support could help him regain the balance he needs to navigate both his career and his private life in a healthier way.
Gervonta Davis just got arrested for domestic violence, but this isn't the first time either. Could this have anything to do with what boxing does to your brain? Let's talk about it. So Gervonta Davis has been caught up in legal trouble and domestic violence allegations multiple times over the past few years. See, boxers take repeated hits to the head, not just during their big fights, but while they're sparring throughout training camp as well. Over time, that can cause CTE, a brain disease that messes with memory, emotions, and can cause aggression. CTE can show up in the form of slurred speech or even mood changes. So honest question for y'all is, do you think Gervonta Davis' violence outside of the ring could be linked to CTE? Is this a hidden cost of boxing? I want to hear your thoughts.
Public opinion is often shaped by patterns, and this case is no different. Many fans and observers are voicing disappointment over the repetitive nature of the challenges surrounding Davis's personal life. Their concern isn't just about the incidents themselves, but the decision to maintain connections that have previously resulted in difficult consequences. From a career management standpoint, decisions involving long-term personal associations must be carefully evaluated. If a relationship repeatedly leads to damaging headlines and legal entanglements, it can impact everything from fight bookings to endorsement deals. Fans wish to see better judgment exercised for the sake of his future.
Gervonta Davis is back on the news, and y'all know I'm a Tank fan, but at this point, dude, I can't even support this guy no more. Gervonta Davis arrested at 3:35 a.m. in the morning in Miami for battery and domestic violence charges. I've seen stuff like this from Tank in the past, and everybody tried to look past it, but dude, what are we doing? You got everything in the world, all the money, mega fights, you got all the money, you never have to worry about anything ever in the rest of your life. Why are we doing this? Like, I understand he's from a tough background and everything, but at some point, you gotta grow up. You arguably the biggest name in boxing with all these people looking up to you, especially kids looking up to you, talking about, I want to be like Gervonta Davis. And this is what they see. I don't know what went down, but I see the news article and I just can't support Tank no more. My favorite damn fighter. One of them besides Terrence Crawford. But I don't know what y'all think about the whole situation. I'm just like, man, what are we doing? I guess we're not going to get the Lamont Roach fight now. I don't know. I know he was on probation before and it was going to be another great fight. And it's just crazy, man. But what do y'all think about this? And you guys think he actually did it? And are you guys still going to support Tank after this?
Gervonta Davis has previously expressed the wish to become more than just a champion in the ring. His interviews have reflected a desire to mature personally and be a strong presence in his child's life. At times, he has even hinted at retirement, suggesting that he might prefer a more peaceful life away from the intensity of the sport. While those ideas have remained unconfirmed in recent times, this current moment could reignite that perspective. Whether or not he returns to boxing, his actions in the coming months may determine how he is remembered, not just as a fighter, but as a person.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast, 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is and wanting to be a softer person, for his daughters and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead a limelight. It seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, because, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, things get old, your whole life gets scrutinized, no matter what moves he makes, it's going to be accepted by some and, ridiculed by others. And some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talks about his heart no longer being in it. Or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens. And, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in the ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself,
Analysts have begun openly questioning whether the long-term relationship between Davis and the mother of his child is healthy for either of them. Over the past 4 years, the connection between them has led to more than one high-profile legal matter, creating ongoing challenges that interfere with stability in both of their lives. When a relationship causes public and professional disruption repeatedly, it often becomes a point of concern not only for families, but also for advisors and career teams. The suggestion from many in the boxing world is clear. Sometimes separation is a healthier decision when patterns don't change.
Boxing sensation Gervonta Davis has been arrested on domestic violence charges. And this is not the first time that he has been here. I'm not sure if it's with the same young lady. Her name is Vanessa, who he shares a daughter with, and I believe she was carrying another child with him. This situation is just sad because, when you're a boxer, your hands are legal. So you're not supposed to be getting into brawl fights with anybody unless you're in the ring, because his hands are considered legally a weapon. And if you ever seen him fight, you know that this boy hits hard. So him hitting a female, it's like, whoa. But yet again, we don't know people's situations. Even though it's never okay to hit a female, we just don't know what happened between these two folks. I think that after this, he should just leave that girl alone, because if this is with her again, this is the second time that he gets arrested for domestic dispute with the same girl. And I just don't think they should be together. Somebody that's with you is supposed to bring the best out of you, not the worst. If you're constantly in a situation where you're arguing, fighting, putting your hands, you feel like a monster with somebody, then maybe that person, you shouldn't be with them. But prayers for Gervonta, because even though he is in the wrong, you know, we don't know what wars, what demons people are fighting in the inside. And you could clearly see that he was very upset. If there's more information on the story, I will be relating. But this just sucks for Gervonta, honestly. It's like he has it all. The money, the fame, biggest boxer in the game right now, but he's always in legal problems, and especially for domestic issues. This is just sad.
As the next hearing approaches, many in the industry await the court's ruling with concern. The repetition of similar incidents places a heavy cloud over Davis's professional credibility. In boxing, where image and conduct play significant roles, in securing fights and sponsorships, recurring legal concerns can become long-term obstacles. The more these events occur, the more they shape the public narrative around the athlete. It becomes harder to separate athletic skill from personal choices when those choices are consistently questioned. The judge's decision may not just affect this one case, it could shape Davis's future in the sport altogether.
I don't know any of the details. This is the information that is available to us as of this recording. So again, I'm saying unfortunate news because Tank Davis is scheduled to fight, and he's scheduled to fight in 11 days, and it's almost midnight my time, Pacific Standard Time. So that means really 10 days. Does this affect in any way? Will this affect Tank Davis and his fight? You know, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but we've seen stuff like this happen before in the past. And since it's so fresh, today being December 27th, I don't think it will impact or, you know, postpone his fight or anything like that, because it'll be too quick to go to trial or anything like that. However, some would wonder, could this affect him mentally, right? You left Mayweather Promotions, you're your own boss, doing your own thing. So this is your first foray into that. You have a difficult Olympian in terms of Hector Luis Garcia that you're getting ready to fight, a little bit taller and bigger than you. And, you know, now you have something in the background. This, I can't say it's news to Gervonta Davis in terms of him having little run-ins, because he had a run-in with some type of vehicular hit and run.
In the days leading up to his latest controversy, Davis appeared active on social media where he hinted that something significant might be approaching. His post seemed reflective, almost anticipating the outcome before it unfolded publicly. While some saw this as an attempt to explain his state of mind or circumstances, others viewed it as an early defense in the court of public opinion. Social platforms have increasingly become places where athletes try to control their own narratives, and Davis's activity there only added more speculation. However, posts alone cannot resolve deeper matters. They require action and accountability to truly bring about change.
Hey yo, Gervonta Davis is getting locked up again, my people. He posted about a lawyer and said, still haven't helped me with my case. Shaking my head, then posted, treating me like I done bodied somebody. I can't do nothing. The last time I went to court, the city tried to fine me for $25K. Damn, $25K? What you do, my boy? And if they treating you like you bodied somebody, then you definitely getting locked up, my boy. This must be what Lamont Roach was trying to tell us when he said Gervonta Davis will cancel the fight, my people. He said, laugh out loud. Buddy, no, damn well, I don't mess around like that. He gassing y'all up to justify why he ain't do his part of the deal yet. He really might pull out of this fight. Stay tuned. Is this what he meant about Gervonta Davis pulling out the fight? Because he might be getting locked up, my people. He got this court problems that he has to resolve, so he hasn't even done his part yet. He's doing all the talking on Instagram. He's doing all the talking on Twitter. This is what Lamont Roach saying. He's doing all the talking everywhere else, but it's just to justify the reason that he might not even show up to the fight. He might have to pull out and cancel that fight, my people. We all know Gervonta Davis has had several legal issues, you feel me? Allegedly, my people. Hopefully, this ain't one, because in boxing, I don't know if we really care about that. We just want to see the fight happen, you feel me? We don't care about all the shenanigans. So all I'm saying is that hopefully he ain't getting locked up, because we want to see that rematch. And we don't want nobody getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? We want you in the ring. We want you to get that get back. And if he don't get that get back, it's like his excuse. He trying to go to jail on purpose. Don't be posting about the court online, my boy. Do what you gotta do, resolve that, and get back to the gym and do this rematch with Lamont Roach. But this would be an upset for everybody if it ends up being canceled because he has to go to court, or he has to go back to getting locked up, or he gotta pay some type of fines, because there's always something, my people. And Lamont Roach kind of hint at that, you feel me? He let us know. Yo, my man talking, but he ain't do his part of the deal yet. And it's been a couple months, and everybody's saying the fight is for sure. But how Lamont Roach saying that your boy ain't do the other part of the deal yet? How does that even happen?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next